Elon Musk is the most recognizable, self-made tech billionaire in the world today. He has been hailed as the real-world Tony Stark. Not only is he at the cutting edge of 21st century technology, but as of this video, he is also the richest man in the world, according to the Forbes Real-Time Billionaire List. Elon owns approximately 48% of SpaceX, a company revolutionizing the commercial space industry and leading the charge to making human beings a multi-planetary species. He also owns 23% of Tesla Motors, a company that probably needs no introduction. In the last decade, Musk and Tesla have come to dominate the electric car market. In the last year alone, Tesla's market capitalization has grown from $100 billion in January 2020 to $1.12 trillion as of October 30th, 2021. This makes Tesla Motors the largest automaker in the world in terms of valuation, surpassing legacy competitors like Toyota, Volkswagen, Ford, and BMW combined. This made us think, what does Elon Musk have to say about his competitors and the future of the EV market? Stick around as we take a look at some of Tesla's main competitors and Musk's opinion about them. Toyota and Daimler. Let's begin with the second largest and the fifth largest automotive maker on the valuation list after Tesla. Today, it is hard to imagine that both Toyota and Daimler had considerable investments in Tesla during the early days of the company. In 2009, when the company was almost on its deathbed, Germany's Daimler AG bought a 10% stake valued at $50 million. Then again in 2010, Toyota invested another $50 million in Tesla. They also sold their Numi factory, which is now Tesla's Fremont factory, at a heavily discounted price. Musk has confirmed it in various talks and interviews over the years that these early fundings and partnerships had not only saved Tesla, but also propelled the company to a global stage. As you can hear from one of his interviews in 2010, both partnerships meant a great deal to Elon and Tesla.
Such great partners is, I think, a strong endorsement of Tesla.
Subsequently, both automakers sold their stakes in Tesla for a good profit in 2017, after the company went public. Today, Tesla has captured a large chunk of the EV market share and has left both these companies behind. Daimler has only recently committed to an enormous $47 billion investment in its EV capabilities to catch up with Tesla. And Toyota's EV vision has leaned heavily on the side of hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles. Given Elon's views on hydrogen fuel cells, it is easy to deduce his opinion on Toyota's flagship hydrogen-powered car, the Mirai.
I turn this into a debate on hydrogen fuel cells because I just think that they're extremely silly.
Toyota's US and Canada sales of the Mirai have only totaled 9,060 cars so far since its launch in 2014. On the other hand, Tesla delivered 201,250 cars in the second quarter of 2021 alone. It is hard not to think that Elon was right all along. It is fun to imagine that as of October 2021, at $292 billion Elon Musk's net worth is almost 20% more than Toyota's overall valuation. Apple Car. Now let's talk about the much-hyped Apple electric car. A good part of the last decade was spent speculating over whether Apple would step into the EV market with a Tesla-like vehicle. When asked this question by an interviewer in 2016, this is what Elon had to say.
I think companies like Apple will probably make a compelling electric car.
In April of 2021, Apple CEO Tim Cook finally hinted at their plans for an autonomous electric vehicle that is scheduled for launch in 2024. Based on another interview in 2018, we can see that Elon thinks Apple missed the opportunity to jump into the EV market sooner.
Why? It's just like it's a missed opportunity.
So even if Apple manages to produce a road-tested electric vehicle by 2024, by the time it goes into production, Tesla would have moved leaps and bounds ahead of them. Although Elon sounds modest in this interview, it is not hard for us to imagine that he doesn't consider the Apple car as a serious competitor to Tesla, at least for now. Google Car. Google's parent company, Alphabet, also owns a subsidiary called Waymo that develops autonomous driving cars. However, for Elon, they don't feature in his list of competitors for Tesla, as you can hear him in this interview.
So I wouldn't say Google's a competitor because they're not a car company.
Volkswagen. Many see the VW ID.3 electric car that went into production in 2019 as the only major competition for the Tesla Model 3, the more affordable Tesla car. It is also an open secret that Volkswagen aims to overtake Tesla as the world's largest EV maker by 2025. This fact has not missed Elon's attention. He and Herbert Diess, the chairman of Volkswagen Group, have always shared a convivial relationship. In September 2020, it was reported that Diess hosted Elon at Braunschweig Airport, a facility mostly used by Volkswagen to test drive the ID.3 and ID.4 electric cars. In the video released by Volkswagen, Elon can be seen driving the new cars and asking all sorts of questions about its performance.
What's the battery pack say?
His first overall impression of the car was good, although he didn't quite like the slow acceleration.
Yeah, I think for non-sporty cars, it's pretty good.
NIO. Another competitor that Elon Musk congratulated recently is Chinese EV manufacturer NIO. He congratulated NIO's landmark milestone of rolling out its 100,000th vehicle off its production line in April 2021 with a tweet. "Congrats to NIO, that's a tough milestone." The Chinese EV market is growing at a tremendous pace, and by his admission, it is going to be Tesla's biggest marketplace of the future.
China, I think long term will be our biggest market, but both where we make the most number of vehicles.
Companies like NIO, Xiaopeng, and SAIC Volkswagen have taken a significant portion of the Chinese EV market in recent years. BYD. On the other hand, a Chinese EV manufacturer that Elon didn't take that seriously back in 2011 was BYD, a company in which Warren Buffett had invested heavily. As you can see in this interview clip, when asked about the chances of BYD becoming a significant force in the US EV market, he laughs. In a way, Elon got it both right and wrong in gauging BYD as a potential competitor to Tesla. It is true that in the US market, BYD is nowhere close to Tesla's market share. However, in China, it is a different story. They are Tesla's major competitor there. In September 2021, BYD sold 36,606 battery electric vehicles in China, second only to Tesla's tally of 52,171. GM and Ford Motors. Finally, when it comes to Elon's opinion about the legacy car manufacturers in America and their EV potential, this clip sums up his thought process nicely.
It's tough, for a company that's been around for a century, like as in the case of GM, there's just so much tradition and ways of thinking and operating. I think it's very difficult.
This organizational slowness in realizing the potential behind a new opportunity is what made these car manufacturers so uncompetitive compared to Tesla in the EV sector today. As Elon himself said, the first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. But thankfully, these giants of the automotive world are slowly waking up to a changing future. GM recently announced that it has plans to build a Chevrolet Silverado EV with a 400-mile range, but has given no release date. Ford, on the other hand, has said it will launch its EV truck next year, dubbed the Ford F-150 Lightning. It will have a range of up to 300 miles. Tesla, as we know, has said it expects 250-plus miles of range for its Cybertruck. There are various other EV brands that are sure to feature in Elon Musk's competition radar, like the Mustang Mach-E, Audi e-tron, BMW i3, or the Jaguar I-Pace, and we would probably be here for a long time if we go into all of them. At the end of the day, we believe that Elon sees electric vehicles as the only alternative to our current gas-guzzling transportation market. In that sense, he has always publicly welcomed competition. He sees Tesla as a tool to catalyze the automotive industry and speed up this revolution by decades or more. So there we have it, a comprehensive look at the question, what does Elon Musk have to say about his competitors? Who do you think is Tesla and Elon Musk's main competitor? And do you think we will see the rise of a similar giant in the EV market by the end of this decade? Let us know in the comment section below.